Do we have
We got
sound?
sound.
We got sound
It's
right
been
off the
confirmed.
bat.
All right.
It's a win.
All right, here we go. And we are live from the Community Trust Bank studio on Maysville. This is the From Corner to Corner Coaches Corner presented by Community Trust Bank. Thanks for joining us live on Facebook and YouTube. Before we get started, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for making all this happen. We got Community Trust Bank, Chemsoft, 22 Sweet Treats, CRC Renovations, Caswell Pruitt Realty, Southern Sweeties, Jacobs Auto Body, and Verizon Landscaping. While you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button or follow button, and make sure you don't miss out on any of our stuff. Tonight, joining us is a jam-packed episode. We have Chris Shaw, the cheerleading coach, right? And we're going to run down these senior ladies that we got here with us. We got Allie Crouch. We have Mackenzie Gotro, Delaney Wills, Whitley Jacobs, Hannah Finlayson. Sorry, I'm coming off a cold. Sophie Hatton, Presley Spears, and Morgan Jackson. Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. We have this is a new record for the most people on one show. The temperature rose 30 degrees when everybody walked in here because it was feeling pretty comfortable until then. So, thanks so much for joining us, Coach. Thanks for taking time out of your night and coming to see us. And, before we get started, just tell us a little bit about, how long you've been coaching, what got you into it, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've been coaching. I've been the head coach since 2015.
Okay.
And I was an assistant coach for many years before that. So a lot of years. And then I cheered here at Montgomery County High School just a few years ago, too. It's been a few years ago. We graduated in 92. But I've always loved this program, highly invested. I've had my oldest daughter came through the program. Now my youngest is cheering as well. And I've been with these girls for a long time. So we've been in this Montgomery County cheer program. My wife's an assistant coach at the high school and also head coach at the middle school. So we have a lot vested.
You were fully invested in the cheer program. That's for sure. Well, and you're at a lot of games, right? You go to all the football games. You do all the home basketball games. Is there road basketball games too?
Some. We especially do district and home and away district games, and we do district and regional tournaments.
Okay. And then is there anything other than those two sports?
Well, we do boys and girls basketball,
okay,
and along with football, and we do home and away for football.
Okay.
So,
well,
it's year round.
When do you have spare time, right? Not much of it, right?
We don't.
And then you're also a pastor of a church, right?
I am at Heritage Christian Church.
That's what I thought. So, well, awesome. Big weekend for you guys coming up, right?
It's a huge weekend. This is our regional competition. It's now Region 5 or Section 5, so they've taken what was our 10th region and combined it with the 9th region several years ago. So since then, our competition has doubled, sometimes tripled with whoever's in your division. But yeah, it's a big competition because it decides whether you proceed to state or not.
Okay. All right. Wes, you was going to say something, I think, Wood. You just look like you had a question that you was going to ask.
All right, well, Wes, I'll go. So, we obviously know in football, basketball, GRC is their biggest competition. Mm-hmm. Is that the same in cheer, or is there somebody else that kind of stands out?
GRC, it just depends on what division. Cheer's so different because there are different categories. You have 2.5-minute routines, but also in that you have small, medium, and large, and extra large. And so in game day, it's the same. So it just depends on how many athletes they have that year. GRC, as always, we always look at them as competition. So even though this year they're not in our category, however, we in-game competitions later on in the year during district and regional tournaments, we get to compete against them.
So is it only a regional thing, or is there like a district tournament to qualify for this regional?
There's not been a district competition for a number of years, a lot of years.
Because we would dominate.
Absolutely, right. Several years ago, they did away with that just because a lot of districts didn't have enough. They didn't have enough numbers to do it. So rather than do that, they just start with region.
Okay. So how many How many schools are we looking at in this competition Saturday?
It is a humongous competition because not only do we have Section 5, which is the morning session we're in the afternoon we have the Fayette County region as well. So I think there's 50-some schools that'll be there. It's a very, very large competition.
Wes, you got that parking ready to go?
The parking is not my
Oh, that's not
forte
yours.
this time.
Yeah.
It's going to be concessions, and
I know as the cheer president, booster club president, you've been pretty enthralled with getting this thing ready to go the last couple of weeks, right?
yes.
So, girls, are you all excited?
Yeah.
I mean, this will be your last hoorah, right? So you're trying to win this region. Do you have to win to move on to state, or?
You do. You have
First
to
or
be,
second.
first or second place.
Oh wow. Okay, so no pressure, right?
Yeah.
But now, I mean, Wes has already got you in Florida for the Nationals, so I mean, this should be easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you're going to be at the blue-white game Friday or Thursday night, getting ready for that, right?
Absolutely. Thursday night we'll be doing performance and just kind of we're going to be using that just to prepare
Yeah.
for Saturday. So the girls are in front of people other than just their coaches.
Yeah.
Gives them good opportunity.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people there for the blue-white game too, so or blue-white celebration. I guess it's not.
It's pretty.
I mean, I know the girls are going to do. I think he said 2 running clock scrimmages, and then the boys are going to do an open practice. But it's going to be like a community celebration, and so I mean we were invited to be there, so we're going to be streaming live from that. So that'll be cool, getting to see the whole community come together and celebrate all of our fall sports, and then getting you guys ready for competition, because this kind of gives you that live crowd feel and stuff like that. So
They're going to have 2 scrimmages, but they're only going to be like 5 minutes each.
yeah, there's like running clock. It wasn't going to be a whole lot, so there won't be a ton of. But he thought that they did say that the open basketball for the boys might go 45 minutes. Might get So, and we watched some of the practice last night. Dude, it's no joke. Mays has them. They're running all over the place. So. Well, let's talk to the girls for a few minutes. Allie, you're the bread man's daughter. You want to go first? So, how long have you been cheering? And I know this isn't the only sport you've done, but it's the only sport you do now, right?
Yeah.
What else did you do?
I did golf for a couple of years, but I got to a point I was like, I just want to focus on cheer. But I've been cheering for 11 years. I started when I was 6.
Wow, that's a long time.
I think you'll notice a consensus.
Yeah,
With this group
gonna
also.
see that across the board. Mackenzie, what about you?
I've been cheering since 4th grade, and cheer's really all I've ever done. So
Okay.
I've been cheering for like 6 or 7 years.
Awesome. Now, Delaney, I know you're a golfer. What else? Have you done anything else? Just the cheer and the golf?
Just cheer and golf. I've done cheer for 12 years.
Okay.
So I'll start out with All-Star and then moved on to school cheer.
You wasn't lying. Like, you all have been together a long time.
Yeah.
Like every one of you.
So now you laid down a challenge on your golf team back a couple of months ago. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Are you going to lay that same challenge down for your cheer team?
I'm a little nervous to do that, but I mean, it worked last time. So.
It did. And if you all don't know, we do the KimSoft Athlete of the Week, right? That's one of our sponsors, and they help us promote our athletes. And the golf team was going to Mason County, and they wanted to go defend their title at Mason County. And Delaney laid it down, going, "We're gonna go do this." And Neil told him, he's like, "If you do that, you all will be the KimSoft Athletes of the Week." So, challenge accepted, right? There's shirts over there that are ready to be worn. So if you guys roll out of this weekend winning the regional tournament, you'll absolutely be our Athletes of the Week. So, no pressure at all, right? All right, moving on. Let's see, Whitley. What about you? Same thing. You've been cheering for 42 years.
Well, I actually started a little bit later. I've got about 6 or 7 years. They were all my friends growing up, and they all did cheer. I actually did gymnastics first, and I was like, well, I guess if they're cheering, I should join too. So that started that. But I also am on the dive team at the
Okay.
high school, so
Now,
flipping.
that's a winter sport too, right?
Yes.
And that's fairly new, right?
It is. Our program is very new. I mean, we've only been up for about 7 or 8 years, but we're very dominant. Like, we have always done well at meets, and I only see the program growing from here.
Yeah.
But pretty much flipping has been my thing for a while now, I'd say.
Or either in air or on ground, right?
Exactly.
So, and that's cool. We've had the swim coach on, and hopefully we get her back on. But we know that program is definitely a competitive program for sure. And not having a place here in town to be able to do that and be competitive is impressive,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's
So,
very difficult considering we don't have, especially a diving board. There
Yeah.
is a diving board in Transy, which
Yeah.
is where we practice at. So it makes it difficult, but we make do with it.
awesome. Let's see. Hannah, what about you?
I've been cheering for about 6 years, since the 6th grade.
Okay.
So you're the pup of the bunch.
Pretty much.
Sophie?
I've been cheering for 12 years, but I also do tennis in the spring.
Okay. All right. So that's our first tennis player.
True.
We forgot all, well, because we haven't done spring yet, though. We haven't done spring. In all fairness, we haven't done spring yet. So, because this coaches show kind of birthed itself late in the school year, and so the fall sports is the only ones that we've been able to really talk to so far. So, I know you don't like talking, but you might have to come back in the spring. Presley?
I've cheered for about 4 years. I did 2 years at TK's and then 2 years with Montgomery County.
Okay.
I've also done a lot of other sports too.
Okay. Well, I know you were on the bowling team one year.
I've done bowling, softball. I tried tennis. I did it for a little while, and yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And she works at Los Rodeos, the best Mexican place in town. And then what about you, Morgan?
I've been cheering for about 12 years, and then I've done past sports. I did swim and dive. I did swim for 2 years, and then I did dive for a season. So.
Okay. Awesome. So, I mean, you wasn't kidding. There's a lot of 11 and 12-year-old or 11 and 12-year veterans here. Before middle school, though, is it just like
Upward.
Is that what it is?
Well, and as I said, All-Star
Yeah.
is what they, did.
Gotcha.
And they, that's kind of like your travel team, your club team, and they'll move all over the place.
Now, with the new basketball program
There's a
coming
cheer
in,
program.
yeah, I was going to say it would almost have to go hand in hand with that. Which, I mean, you got to feel excited for that, right? Because you're going to be getting a influx of girls or boys from all of these schools that are going to start feeding into the middle school program.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things a lot of communities have had that we have not had. So every year we do a couple of cheer clinics for the youth, which has a huge turnout, and that's for any young lady or gentleman that wants to come. But we have a huge turnout, and they're all excited. But in the past, we've really not had anything for them to do other than that clinic. They could do an all-star team, which requires a tuition. They have to pay for that. So as far as community-wide, this is a big opportunity for them.
That's fantastic. Because, the basketball program itself is being developed as a feeder type program and trying to do the same thing with football. And I think, I don't know if we're late to the game as other counties with this type of stuff. I know that Coach Mays has been very vital to getting this off the ground, but in order for us to be a county, I mean, there's one high school, right? There's one middle school, so their only option is for us to start feeding from the lower ranks like that, and have girls. How awesome would it be for every senior class to come through with 10, 12 years of experience of cheerleading, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, as a coach, you got to love that, right?
Absolutely. A lot of communities, I know Rowan County in particular, several years ago started this same thing with the elementary schools, and that's really blossomed for them. And since then, their cheer program's really taken off.
Yeah.
But they've become very competitive. So the youth programs in their schools have also become competing. So the girls are already competing before they ever get to middle school, and so that just gives them it's such an advantage that in the past we've not had, because we were really blessed with a lot of girls who've had an all-star background. But when you don't have that, in our instance, a few years ago during that COVID season, we had nobody coming. So everybody we had, literally, we had to teach them everything.
Yeah.
So the counties that do have that in place, it is a big benefit.
So, Coach, you mentioned something, and girls, you all can answer as well. 2.5 minutes. Like, something that's unique about cheer is you can't call timeout. Like, if they flub or something goes wrong, you can't call a timeout and get them back in routine. Girls, you have to be ready to just go on the fly.
And if something messes up, you just got to go with it and roll with it and just make do with what you have.
Yeah.
Another thing that happens, like, there could be us four could be sitting there. You're looking for one particular thing. He's looking for something. I'm looking for facials. Like, how do you know what the judges are looking at?
We have their scoring criteria, and so we know kind of what we're looking for. In our game day routine, there's 4 sections. So there's a band chant, there's a situational sideline, and then the actual floor cheer, and then the fight song. So when they have a rubric, there's a scoring rubric that they use. So we kind of know going in, and also in the past, years past, one judge kind of watched you'd have a panel, but they were scoring everything. Now they have it divided. So you have a panel of judges, but that one judge is only looking for one thing. So it really is, they can kind of fine tune and kind of see,
Right.
They don't miss much.
Right. My mom was a cheer coach in West Virginia at a high school, and like her stressing after competitions, waiting on these score sheets. Which, by the way, there should be a faster way to do that, right? Like, you all get done competing, sometimes that's an hour and a half waiting on scores.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody's got a calculator and you got a score sheet. What takes so long?
It is sometimes rather dreadfully drawn out, for sure. And but the good thing especially with our region since KHSAA took over competitive cheer in Kentucky several years ago, that process has gotten a lot faster. So usually by the last team, you've just got a little window now, and they'll usually announce the winners. Also, with the rules now and stuff, even if you wanted to, there's no contesting the score, so
Right.
it is what it is.
Right.
So as far as our state level, it's gotten a lot quicker and more efficient.
So I'm not up on Kentucky rules. West Virginia, for a few years, they got rid of fulls and tumbling passes. Now they're bringing those back. Is there any sort of rules like that?
We have a few rules and regulations. A few years ago, basket tosses were a big thing. Now you can't do a basket toss unless it's on a regulated surface. So you don't see those at basketball games anymore because you're not allowed to do them on a hard surface. Tumbling, as far like full twist on the floor, on the hard floor. There was a while, a season where that was a no-go, and over the years, there's been things that have been a no, and then they'll come back and say yes, and then there's those iffy things that no one really knows, and they're kind of gray. But overall, we've kind of seen it's been pretty stable for the past several years, and one of the reasons why KHSA and UCA, Universal Cheerleading Association, the state just took on UCA stuff. So whatever UCA does is what the state does, and UCA is where we go to compete for nationals.
Is that just a safety thing that they've taken that stuff out, I assume?
Overall, yes.
Yeah, just some danger levels on that stuff.
They've seen a lot of injuries in that area, so absolutely.
I can understand that.
I'm impressed.
Hey, listen, I've spent a lot of time at cheerleading
He's got
competitions.
some cheer. He has some cheer
Talking
IQ.
about facials and
Hey,
fools, and
listen.
I was like, what's going on
My-
here? I
my
thought I was the
mom-
only one that knew all about this.
No, shout out to my mom. She was a state champ as a cheerleader and as a coach. So I know a thing or two.
So it's very important. I'll talk to the audience a little bit now. It's very important for everybody to show up. I think Chris would agree to me with me. Thursday night for the quote unquote practice showcase, because the more crowd participation we get, the better scores we get. So show up Thursday night.
Shaking a pom pom front row.
I won't shake a pom pom, but I'll say the words real loud.
Okay.
But then Saturday.
What do you mean? Elaborate on that.
On what?
On the crowd participation in your scoring.
When it comes to especially game day,
Be as loud
Then-
as you can with this.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I'll
the
tell you
in-game
what.
competition
Let's
later,
let the
right?
girls. Let's let the girls answer.
Basically, just yell along with us, like the words with us, because the more involvement we have with the crowd, the better we get scored on the score sheet.
So it's like the faces in wrestling. We're trying to get the crowd interaction on the good moves,
We're
right?
trying to create what?
Emotion.
There you go. That's what they're trying to create.
We're missing that on our shirt on our website. We got to get an emotion shirt going on out there. WWW. No, I'm just kidding.
So, girls, what have you all taken from cheer? I mean, you know, this is a massive class. What have you? I mean, the only person we're missing is Olivia, and you all have all cheered together. So, what's it meant to you all? What have you all taken from cheer for all these years? Anybody can answer.
Don't answer all at once.
I would say definitely the friendships, because we've all been cheering together for so long, and the bond you make as a team, and like how to become coachable, because I think that's one thing all of us cheering for so many years is we've learned how to adapt to change quick, and I think that's one thing we've learned too with cheerleading. It's quick, and also the bond we have as a team too.
We're such a close-knit group of seniors. Like, normally you have seniors and
Yeah.
they, like, know each other, but, like, they only have been cheering for, like, 4 years or so together. But, like, we've been cheering our whole life, basically, together.
Yeah.
We're close in that kind of way.
It's a common theme that we see across the board
True.
with everybody that comes in here. You know, Delaney was on the show with the golf team, and you know, similar things. You know, like we're best friends, right? We spend time together, and we're all close and stuff like
We're
that.
always together.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, heck, you cheer at everything that's out there, so how could you not be? So, I think that's. You can't teach that, right? You can't teach camaraderie and you can't teach teamwork. You have it, right? And if you're doing moves out there and you're trusting in your teammates, and you know you got to have that faith that if you're up in the air, you're getting caught, right? You know,
Absolutely.
It's like,
We say often there can't be any weak links
Right.
in cheer.
Yeah.
And kind of like what you guys mentioned earlier, we don't have a bench.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Yeah.
And so you have to learn to trust. And if there's 4 people in a stunt group putting a girl up, well, all 4 people have to do their job. If not, it won't work.
Right. So,
You got it.
go ahead.
So real quick, girls, who gives the motivational speech before you hit the floor?
Whitley.
Yeah.
So you get them hopped up.
That's sometimes.
Okay.
And
What-
Amy.
what do you
Amy
say?
Shaw.
Amy.
Amy always has us. She always pulls us to the side and just talks to
Yeah.
us.
Just kind of
Yeah.
calm those emotions a little bit
Yeah.
before you take the floor.
Yeah.
Put you back on center gravity. Willie, you got anything prepared?
Honestly, I always remind everyone that you know what you're doing. We've been practicing this for weeks, and all you have to do is give it your all and trust each other. Like we've been saying, trust is such a big thing. And when you just know, okay, I can do this, and I know my teammates can do it, you can only find success from that. And I think it's super important that we are also close with each other, and we're close with the entire team too. And when you're close on a personal level, it just makes the performance even better because you know, okay, we all love each other, we're all comfortable with each other, and we all know we have the skill set to do what we need to do. So.
Well, speaking of the whole
All right, let's go. I'm ready.
That was one of my next questions. Is I know there's 9 seniors. What's the rest of the lineup look like? Once these girls are gone, what's left, Chris?
We have a lot of young cheerleaders and a lot of girls that are just getting their feet wet this year with cheer. We have 3 juniors, and the rest are underclassmen. So this group has been with me for a long time. They've been with us through middle school and high school. So it is a building, and we knew that going in this year. So we took some girls in. We're like, okay, you've got to match where they are. We can't have that newbie mentality. It was like you don't have time to figure it out. We're going to figure it out really quickly because with cheer, again, you can have a weak link.
Right.
You all have to match the same potential. So these girls have been awesome leaders, and they've just developed, and become great leaders, and some are more verbal, and some are lead by example. They all lead by example, but they've really made an impact, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Fantastic.
We're looking forward to Saturday.
So, let's get a little bit more.
Words are hard. Come on.
Words
Get
are
it out,
hard.
old man.
You've been around Chris and Amy and Ashley for a long time.
If you're about to ask the question I was going to ask next, I'll go crazy because like we're in sync right now. The way you're starting.
What we usually ask this of all the teams. So, what's tell us a funny story, or what is something that Chris or Amy or Ashley or any of them do, or Sherry that does Sherry Phillips
Or Wes. Don't leave Wes out. Don't leave Wes out.
We
He's
always
my
make
friend.
fun of
rarely
the bread
see
man,
me.
so you're more than welcome to make fun of
I
him,
walk
too.
in, I hand stuff off, and I'm out the door real quick. So give us some sort of funny story or something that's like, he does this all the time, and it just drives me insane.
I don't know. Like,
Look, they
in
locked
the
up. They don't like. I don't want to say
I mean,
he's
at first,
right here.
He was like, oh.
Whitley parked up quick.
This was so I cheered up my 8th grade year, and there was one away football game. We were at a gas station, and we all snuck a pumpkin on the bus, and Chris and Ashley were my coaches at the time. Amy and Sherry hadn't moved up from middle school yet, but they were livid, and they thought we had gotten the pumpkin off the bus after they had yelled at us. We hid it in someone's backpack and didn't tell them, and rode all the way home back to Mount Sterling with it, and they didn't know for a while that we had still left the pumpkin on the bus.
And the pumpkin came from these boys at the gas
gas
running
station.
around. It really wasn't so much about the pumpkin; it's about get away from these
Yeah.
boys. We don't know who these boys are wandering
Yeah.
around the bus.
And
But,
at that point, I was the newbie. I was the 8th grader, and all of the seniors were like, "Oh yeah, get the pumpkin on the bus." And I was like, "Guys, the coaches are gonna get so mad at us. What are we doing?"
But at the same time, you were like, gosh, I want to be accepted
Yeah, I
by
was
these
like,
other girls.
I'm like,
Give me the pumpkin.
"Where's the pumpkin? I'll hide it for you all."
Did that pumpkin wind up rotting on the bus?
No, but, we got it off somehow.
That's
But
funny. That is funny.
So, Wes, you were close. The
Okay.
question I was going to ask,
Okay.
who gives the best Coach Shaw impersonation on the team?
Probably Macy.
I'd say Macy.
Macy, his daughter.
Well, I mean that comes. I mean that's
That comes
easy.
honest.
Yeah.
That comes honest. I mean that's his daughter, so it's kind of like I
Yeah, she gets to see him all the time, right?
Right.
Perfect it.
So, what's Coach's go-to saying? What's something y'all hear every practice, no matter what?
Give it to yourselves.
They know it's good if I say give it to yourself. They
Yeah.
say it's good.
Okay, so pre-game or after game, apparently, what's better? What do you all like to do better? Do you all like to do KA better, or do you all like to do vroom vroom better?
We mix it. We do both.
Do what?
Yeah.
Hey,
Like
what the
our
heck
chant-
does that mean?
You're going to have to explain that. I
Our
don't know.
chant this year, like we do the I and D, all that, and then at the end we go K on 3, 1, 2, 3, K A, vroom vroom. So we put both of them together, and
Yeah, but there's
What's
but
KA
vroom
stand for?
vroom. Well, I mean, if I tell you what,
Let's not get into those things.
I don't know
Sean.
that it would blow the mics up or not, but we could just have them do KA.
Kids accelerating. That's what it is.
Okay. I thought it was Kentucky Athletics.
Sean, if you think about it for 5 seconds, you'll figure it out.
Oh. I am an old man. I got it.
I'm good with
Roll
it.
with it.
I think they should just go ahead and do
Do the cheer.
your
Yeah,
little breakdown.
chant.
Yeah.
do the chant.
Okay. I'll say, so who's doing the K on 3? You're doing K.
okay.
wait, are we doing the whole thing or just KA?
No, we're doing the I.
Okay.
5, 6,
I'm gonna kill her,
7,
Mike.
8.
I-N-D, I-N-D-I-A-N-S. All the girls say we K-A. Today's the day the tribe has come. Everybody knows where we come from. M-C-H-S. Whoop, whoop, Indians.
K on 3. 1, 2, 3.
K-A. Vroom, vroom.
Hey, that was nice.
Very good.
That was nice.
Very good. I know what KA stands for now. And all of our listeners.
But so, do y'all have any other questions?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So one of the things that we have talked about with everybody that's been on the show is after high school, right? So obviously colleges have cheerleaders. Is anybody looking to cheer in college? After what are we going to college for? What's our after school goals?
I don't think any of us are cheering in college, but
But I think we all plan to go to college.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All right.
So what are you all going to major in? We can start with Whitley and just work our way around.
Well, the current plan is to attend UK, and right now it's between physical therapy and optometry, but I'm still undecided about that. But we'll see where the wind
That
takes
kind
me.
of comes on us too.
Yeah.
I plan on going to Eastern, but my major is semi between the medical side of things or education. So I'm not really sure yet, but I'll figure it out.
I don't know where I'm going to attend college at yet, most likely Moorhead, but I plan on majoring in broadcast journalism.
I'm going to Moorhead, and I was going to do education, but I just recently switched it to like radiology and sonography.
So you're choosing money. There you go.
I don't know where I'm going yet, but I plan to go into nursing.
Okay.
I'm planning to attend the University of Kentucky, and I'm either going to go into the speech and language pathology or a PT assistant.
I plan to go to Moorhead State, and I think that I'm going to do medical sonography and like radiology as well.
I plan to go to UK, and I'm thinking of going the social work route.
Fantastic. All great fields to be in for sure. I mean, everybody has eyes, right, Whitley? So optometrists are going to be needed forever.
Absolutely.
So you're never going to run out of work doing that. That's for sure. So, well, we're super excited for this weekend for you guys, and hopefully everything goes great. And we're handing out the rest of our shirts that we have over there, because how many cheerleaders is there total?
23.
Good Lord. We're going to need a sponsorship for the next batch. Kim Soft, are you listening? We're going to need some more shirts. No, I'm just kidding. So I hope you guys go out and kill it this weekend for sure. Who's the one that scares you? Who's the one school that you're like,
Did you not hear the speech Whitley just gave? Nothing scares them.
Who's your toughest competition? How about that?
I would word
Not
it like that.
saying Pendleton's like our toughest, but like Pendleton in the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like
Gotcha.
we're not scared, but like Pendleton is good too.
Yeah, they're the ones that you know that you're going to have to.
We're gonna have to go out
Yeah.
there and do our very, very best.
Gotcha.
So
Awesome.
one thing, it's failure on their part. What time does this start? We haven't even talked about what time it starts.
Saturday morning, I think the first
At the high
team
school,
at
right?
the high school here at the arena. The first teams go on like at 8.
I think that's right.
We compete at 11,
20.
20.
11:30, right?
If you want to come see us, be there by 11:15, and you'll
Yeah.
see us. We are actually the last team in our session to go, so it's a good place to be.
Is it because it's your home?
Well, not necessarily. It's a draw. It's just
Gotcha.
where we landed.
So you all get that lasting
We get
impact.
to watch
Absolutely.
everybody and then go out there and be like, boom.
The last time we
You thought you had
hosted,
it?
the last time we hosted region was in 2015. Of course, it wasn't the combined regions, but we had the same spot, and that year we had a phenomenal year. We went on to be runner-up in the state that year. So I'm looking at it. It's a good sign. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a good spot, and we're going to show up on Saturday.
Absolutely. So,
Wes, you're the Booster Club president.
Yes.
Do you already have the championship belts ordered for when they win so they can go ahead, they announce Montgomery County as your winner, boom, you put the belts on them?
I don't have that, but I will.
You have
I
no
will-
faith.
I will gladly do that immediately.
Your own daughter cheers, and you don't have the faith.
Austin has the trophies. They're nice big region trophies. And hopefully it's staying home.
right? Absolutely.
I will say, look at look at Chris's social medias. Look at Montgomery County Athletic social medias. Look at the Montgomery County Varsity Cheer social medias, and anybody that shares it. There is a QR code out there. You can pre-order your tickets. It is run through KHSAA.
I shared it today, too.
You shared it today. You look at our social medias. Pre-buying the tickets will give you a $2 discount. They are $10 a piece, but it's well worth it. We need all the support in Montgomery County.
You expect a huge crowd, right? I mean, that many schools, it's got to be a jam-packed gym.
It'll be jam-packed, and we hope we have a lot of Montgomery County fans. And as Wes said earlier, we just need all the support and yelling out those chants. And Wesley, being the Booster Club president, he's the one who we give them these missions. We need this many signs, and he has gotten a lot of signs over the years. We have a large amount of signs, flags. It's going to be easy to yell with the girls. They give you plenty of props, but as many Montgomery County fans as that are out there that can come, that would be greatly supported, and it will support the girls greatly.
Absolutely.
So the ones that can't make it, will it be on NFHS?
They will.
I know most of the stuff in the arena, it is broadcast on NFHS.
You know, I'm not sure on that. But come on out Saturday.
Yeah, just show up.
Come on out Saturday. Absolutely. And Thursday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thursday night is free.
Yeah, and it is gates open at 5:30. There is no cost. Everything starts at, I believe. Well, he said 6, but last night he told us.
5:45.
Yeah, there's some of the stuff that starts at 5:45 Thursday night. So get out there for that. We are partnering with the Key Club. Bring in any kind of canned food donations. Like I said, you don't have to. There's no cost, but that is one of our things that they're pushing for. So bring your canned goods with that. I do have one other thing that we want to do before we wrap up. Our KimSoft Athletes of the Week is the Esports Rocket League team. Recently went into a big tournament, and they wound up as runner-ups. We have a very good esports program here in Montgomery County, as we do a lot of other programs. But this week, our KimSoft Athlete of the Week is our Rocket League esports team. So congratulations, guys, on that for sure. So, Chris, ladies, Wes, did you have something else?
I was just going to say, any last words from the girls to anybody out there that wants to, that you want to tell them come to the competition? Anything?
Please come.
Yeah, definitely get out there and support us.
Show up and show out.
Yeah. Wear that red and blue and cheer loud, and let's get out there Thursday and Saturday both, and girls, it's in your hands now. The weight of the world is on your shoulders. I'm just kidding. So, no, good luck. Chris, girls, thank you all for coming and spending some time with us this evening. And we're excited for you, and we hope everything pays off. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We will catch you guys next week.
Stay safe, friends.
Did we have sound the whole time?